Thank you for joining this presentation. We will be discussing the Technology Initiative for Pulaski Elementary School for the 2018 to 2019 school year. We have created a Technology Initiative Committee within Pulaski Elementary School to try to help educators in the most effective way possible to help them become more successful in their classroom with engaged lessons. The vision statement for the Technology Initiative Committee is to provide the resources and training to educators to encourage the effective implementation of an interactive smartboard in all classrooms. The interaction between the students and a smartboard will increase student engagement in the lessons that are being taught. Educators will collaborate to determine what resources are most beneficial in engaging each student in a smartboard lesson. So why is this important? Smartboards are large expenses that Pulaski has installed in all of its classrooms. It is pertinent that these educators know and understand how to effectively use a smartboard so that students can benefit from it as much as possible. The goal of this committee is to provide professional development opportunities to educate the teachers and staff at Pulaski Elementary School on the different aspects of using a smartboard interactively. By incorporating these interactive lessons into their plans, students will become more engaged and attentive through the hands-on process. If educators understand how to effectively use the smartboards, students can be formatively assessed on material based on how they interactively respond to the lessons on the smartboard. On this slide, you will see just a few of the results from a survey that was administered to the staff at Pulaski Elementary School. This survey was emailed to all staff members, however, only 9 educators responded. On the left, you will see the question, have you ever had a smartboard training? 77.8% of the educators who responded to the survey said that they have not received a training on smartboards. 22.2% have received a training, but it was identified later on that some did not feel that their training was adequate. On the right, you will see question number 4, and that says, how comfortable are you with implementing a smartboard into your lessons? This was scored on a scale from 1 to 5. 1 being that educators were not comfortable at all, and 5 being that educators were completely comfortable and thoroughly understood all of the aspects and resources available to them in smart products. As you can see, 33.3% of the educators chose number 2, the same amount chose number 3, and the same amount chose number 4. This shows that the educators surveyed feel like they are just average in terms of how comfortable they are with implementing the smartboard. On this slide, you will see a few more results from the survey administered to the Pulaski educators. On the left, question number 7 says, what would you like to know more about in regards to smartboards? Educators want to learn more about creating games, adding audio to Smart Notebook, and some are interested in learning how to group objects or just overall basic knowledge. All of these will be taught or discussed in the professional development that we are going to create to help educators become more successful in the implementation of their smartboard. Question number 8 on the right side says, would you participate in a professional development to learn more about student engagement and effective use of a smartboard? We are going to pursue this professional development. All of the teachers stated yes or maybe that they would participate in a professional development. None of the educators selected no. We followed through with the educators that said maybe, and many of them stated that they didn't have extra time after school, or they were already too busy with other work that they have to do for their regular job duties. We decided that we would conduct these trainings during our regularly scheduled staff meetings, and if it was after school, that educators would receive inclement weather hours to make up for their time. So the solution to this need of educators not feeling completely comfortable with smart boards, let alone implementing them effectively and in an engaging way, we need to develop a solution. So in order to assist the educators at Pulaski, they will have a professional development opportunity that allows them to explore everything that a smart board is capable of. This smart board training will be offered in a whole group format initially. Once this is complete, educators will be able to participate in a second whole group lesson or in a smaller one-on-one session. Educators will have the opportunity to ask questions and learn material that they are interested in and that they want to utilize in their classroom. This is where we will discuss the creating games or adding audio to notebook files. In addition to this, the initiative committee will allow peer observations so that the educators can see the effective and engaging implementation of Smartboard in action. On the next page, you will see the initiative integration. This will be a thorough layout of the process that the technology committee created. So initiative integration. We began this initiative on September 12, 2018. This is when we created the committee. We then held our first meeting. On September 28th was when the Smartboard survey was administered to all of the educators at Pulaski Elementary School. The initiative committee then held a second meeting on October 2nd and their third meeting on October 9th. On October 23rd, we plan to have our first professional development opportunity in a whole group setting. After that, educators will have time to implement some of the new knowledge that they have gained from their professional development. During this time, they will be able to conduct peer observations to see how their peers are implementing the Smartboard into their lessons in an engaging way. We will then continue on with the second professional development opportunity. This is once again a whole group lesson to follow up on Smartboard questions and introduce some new concepts. Educators will then have time to implement the new things that they have learned. Will be able to conduct peer observations. And finally, they will be able to have one-on-one meetings to ask any additional questions, give advice, and lastly, they will be able to give feedback on their final survey February 1st, 2019. Although this is as long as the timeline as the committee created, this could be an ongoing thing that we may decide to develop even longer. All of the committee members are aware that the educators at Pulaski Elementary School may continue to have additional questions, so they know that they can reach out at any time, even if it is after this timeline has already passed. So the anticipated results for this initiative are to increase educator confidence, student engagement, effective lesson planning, and the utilization of additional technology. By increasing all of these things, especially student engagement, student misbehavior will decrease in the classroom. If they are engaged, they are focused on what they are doing, and there is less likely of a chance that they will misbehave or become off task. It will also decrease the uneasy feeling in educators. Many educators have a fear of implementing new technology, especially if they are not comfortable with it. This will help to ease any of those feelings. The evaluations for this initiative will be done in many different ways. The Smartboard training will be done on multiple days and will be delivered in a few different formats as explained. It is important that the Pulaski educators give thorough feedback to the committee so that in upcoming training, certain things can be adjusted to meet the specific needs of the educators. There will be discussions and feedback opportunities throughout the whole process. Educators will also complete a survey at the end of the professional development opportunities for the year and can give their feedback as to whether they think the whole process was successful and or what they think they can suggest to make changes to the training. If you have any questions, concerns, or feedback regarding this Smartboard initiative, please do not hesitate to reach out to any of the individuals on the Technology Committee. You can also reach me directly at my Christina School District email. Other areas in which you can find initiative resources and meeting minutes are on our Pulaski Schoology page in the resource section and at the Stevenson Technology Initiative Project PBWorks website. Thanks for listening, and I hope you're as excited for this initiative as I am.